Good morning, students. In this class, we'll discuss about the topic single step matching technique. In the last class, we seen about a quarter wave transform technique, which is having some drawbacks. One drawback is, as load impedance varies, we have to keep on change the quarter transformer with the different Z-works values. That is one drawback. Second drawback is, as the load varies, we have to keep on change the location of this quarter transformer. So to overcome these two drawbacks, we will go for single step matching technique. So before starting this, first of all, what is a stub? So stub is a small portion of transmission line whose characteristic impedance is same as that of main transmission line. That means, so this is the main transmission line. Take an example. So this is the main transmission line. This is Z0 and this is some ZL, where ZL is not equal to Z0. Okay, here load impedance is not equal to the characteristic impedance. Therefore, reflection takes place. Our objective is to do impedance matching for avoiding this reflection of waves or inputs and outputs. Okay, so here we are going to use another transmission line. So this is another transmission line which is having same characteristic impedance. This is having Z0 characteristic impedance and the main transmission line is also having the characteristic impedance Z0. That is called a stub. What is stub? Stub is a small portion of transmission line whose characteristic impedance is same as that of characteristic impedance of main transmission line. That is called a stub. So what is the advantage of this method? No need to design a transmission line with the different characteristic impedance, because in the previous case we have to keep on changing this transmission line with the different Z-works values. That is not required in this case. That's the one advantage of using a stub. Okay, so here you can use this stub in different ways. Two types are there. One is a short circuited stub and an open circuited stub. So two configurations of stubs are available: short circuited stub and open circuited stub. So this is an example for short circuited stub. So this is transmission line that is terminated with a wire. It is called as a short circuited stub. So what is the impedance of this short circuited stub? Since it is short circuited, it is having zero impedance. Okay, this is example for open circuited stub. Since it is output is open circuited, this is having infinite impedance. Okay, so there are two types of stubs are there. Okay, so for impedance matching, we can have totally 4 configurations are there. We can connect this stub either in series to the main transmission line or in parallel to the main transmission line. So totally we can have 4 different configurations are possible. Okay, so this is main transmission line having some impedance, load impedance ZL, and the characteristic impedance of main line is Z0. So here we can connect a short circuited stub which is in series to the main transmission line. Here the stub and main line are in series. Okay, this is also having characteristic impedance Z0. And another way is, so this is the main transmission line. It is having Z0 characteristic impedance and load is ZL. So here we can connect the stub in parallel. So this is a short circuit stub which is connected in parallel to the main transmission line. Okay. Similarly, we can also connect a short circuit open circuit stub in series and in parallel to the main transmission line. So this is the circuit for stub connected in series to the main transmission line, open circuit stub, and this is the stub connected in parallel to the main transmission line. Okay, so totally 4 configurations. Out of these 4 configurations, we are going to prefer a short circuited stub that is connected in parallel configurations. We prefer a short circuited stub that is connected in parallel to the main transmission line. So why means because of 2 advantages. One is for short circuited stubs, it is going to provide mechanical support because its length is some 1 meter. In case of open circuit stub, it cannot be stable because it may bend. So it does not contain some mechanical support. So in case of short circuit stub, because of this wire, it is going to have a good mechanical support when compared with an open circuited stub. And one more point is return losses are less in case of short circuited stub when compared to the open circuited stub. That means it may behave like an antenna and it may not behave. Okay, that's the reason why we prefer short circuited stubs in parallel to the main transmission line. Why parallel? Why not in series means? So if it is in series connection means as the load impedance varies, we have to keep on move the stub. Location of stub changes whenever the load impedance changes. So in this case, we have to de-weld 4 places and have to again change the location of the stub. But in case of parallel stubs, okay, here we have only 2 connections. So with the help of some screw arrangements, we can able to shift it over the transmission line for impedance matching purpose. Okay, generally for impedance matching, we have to change 2 things. One, have to change the location of stub and also have to increase the length of the stub. So with the help of some screw arrangement, in case of parallel stubs, we can either change the location or you can change the length easily. That's the reason why we prefer the short circuited stubs in parallel to the main transmission line. Okay. Now we'll discuss how to do impedance matching with the help of these short circuited stubs that are connected in parallel to the main transmission line. Okay. So first one is single stub matching. Insert for this one.
నీ పెట్రోల్ ఇంకా కాఫీ పెట్టలేదు మధ్యలో ఇప్పుడు పెడతారు అంటే జనరేటర్ ఆఫ్ చేస్తారు కదా కరెంట్ రాగానే మళ్ళీ జనరేటర్ ఆఫ్ చేసినప్పుడు టక్ టక్
ఇప్పుడు మాల్ ఎడిటింగ్ అయిపోయినాయి
లేకపోతే కరెంట్ పోయిన తర్వాత చెప్పారు అక్కడి నుంచి మళ్ళీ రీస్టార్ట్ చేసుకోండి ఆ ఫైల్ డిలీట్ చేసుకుంది
వదిలేయండి వచ్చింది వాళ్ళ బ్యాక్ కొంచెం చెప్పడం ఇష్టం వదిలేండి కట్ చేస్తాను
ఎక్కడైనా చేయాలా
లేదు రికార్డింగ్ అవుతుంది అది జరుగుతుందా మినిట్స్ అవుతుంది సార్ ఏమైంది రిపీట్ చేస్తలే నేను
ఓకే స్టార్ట్ చేసేసుకోండి అయితే కంటిన్యూస్గా.
సరే సార్
12 minutes 38 seconds వచ్చింది. దీంట్లో 5 నిమిషాలు
పోయింది
కంటిన్యూ చేసేస్తారు 1 hour ఫుల్గా.
2 స్లాట్స్
అదే 1 hour ఫుల్గా కంటిన్యూ చేస్తే మంచిగా అవుతారు.
అసలు Okay, now we'll discuss about the operation of single step matching technique. Okay, now take a main transition line. So it is having characteristic impedance Z0. And this is the load impedance ZL. So for impedance matching, I have to choose a short circuit stub that is connected in parallel to the main transmission line. Okay. So what are the points to be calculated here means the first point is the location of stub. So from the load, at how much distance you have to place this stub. That is one point to be measured. Another one is what should be the length of the stub. Okay, and its stub admittance. These 3 parameters we have to measure. Okay. So here it is A point, and this is B. This is a B minus. And this is B plus. What is the meaning of B minus? B plus means impedance just before stub. What is B plus? Impedance just after stub. Okay. And this is the C point. That is the input impedance at source side. Okay. So what are the things to be measured here? What is the length of the stub? Stub length. And what is the location of the stub, and what is the stub admittance. So why I am taking here admittance means, so here one point you noted here is, here stub and line are in parallel. So if I am taking it as impedance, stub impedance and main transition line impedance, so what I have to do here, since they two are in parallel, what is the formula of parallel? ZS ZL by ZS plus ZL. So it is difficult to, not difficult, it is somewhat complex to simplify the answer. That is the reason why here for analyzing the single step matching technique, I am going to use admittances in place of impedances. So if 2 admittances are in parallel, what is the equivalent admittance? It is sum of the admittances, Ys plus Yl. So this is easy to calculate when compared to calculating this formula. That's the reason why for analyzing this single step matching technique, I am going to use admittances in place of impedances. So therefore, how this circuit will vary now? So here I have to put this is nothing but your YL, and this is nothing but a Y0. Okay. Now the circuit modifies like this. So in place of impedance, I am taking admittance for a calculation purpose. So in case of previous case, we have used a normalized impedance Smith chart. Now here you have to use a normalized admittance Smith chart. So what is the difference between impedance chart and admittance chart? In case of impedance chart, we have normalized resistance and normalized reactance. In case of admittance, we have normalized conductance and normalized susceptance. So small g is called as normalized conductance and small b is called as normalized susceptance. Okay, now we'll see a Smith chart. How to draw the normalized admittance Smith chart. So it is also contains two circuits similar to the impedance. Okay, everything is similar, only 2 points will vary. Again, this is the real axis and this is the imaginary axis, and this is the real axis. So any point on this line is purely real and any point on the circle is purely imaginary. So here we have G circles. We call them as G circles. And the half circles are called as B circles. So these are the B circles. So we are replacing the R circles with G circles and X circle with the B circles. That is one change. Another change is this point is PSC in case of admittance chart. So this is the admittance chart. And this is the POC. So in case of impedance chart, this is the POC point and this is the PSC point. In case of admittance, it is inverse of impedance. So both are get reversed. So any point here is G plus JB and any point here is G minus JB. Okay. So intersection of G circle and B circle gives the admittance. So this is the admittance. Intersection of G circle and B circle gives the admittance value at that point. Okay, with this basic information, I am going to find out what is the location of the stub, length of the stub, and stub admittance for impedance matching purpose. Okay, so here, before starting with the Smith chart, we have to discuss one more point, that is in terms of analytically. So here, since I am speaking about normalized chart, you should just write in terms of normalized value. So y0 by y0 gives 1. So you have to normalize everything. So in the previous case, you are normal with respect to z0, but here I have normal with respect to y0 because it is admittance chart. Okay. So what I have did here, yl by y0 is going to give yl bar. That takes it as a value g plus some jb. The normalized admittance is, let's assume it is having G as the normalized conductance and small b is the normalized susceptance. Let us assume. Okay, so here it is 1. So when we can say impedance matching occurs, we can say that impedance matching occurs if the admittance at C is 1. If this is 1, I can say that this is 1, I can say that impedance matching is occurred. Right? It should be 1. How to get it as a 1? That is the problem. Okay? So here, if this is 1, so when two admittances are in parallel, so we can write here the admittance at B plus is equal to what? Is equal to the stub admittance plus admittance at B minus point. Clear? The admittance at B plus is equal to what? That is the normalized stub admittance plus admittance at B minus point. So this is the point, you have to note it. When two admittances are parallel, you have to add the admittances. So the admittance at B plus is equal to stub admittance, the normalized stub admittance plus the admittance at B minus point. Okay, so now I have to get here 1. So how to get 1 here? And one more point here is already we know that always a short separate stub is going to give only the imaginary value. And it contains only imaginary values. It contains only susceptance. Short separate stubs is going to change only the imaginary value, that is susceptance. It will not change the conductance value. Okay? Always a short circuited stub contains only susceptance. Okay, this is the point you have to note. So in the previous classes already we proved this one. Short circuit stub contains only purely imaginary value. So now take that point into consideration. Okay, here it is having some imaginary value. Looking from this side, the stub is going to offer some input impedance of some imaginary value. So now what I'm trying to say here, so it should be 1. If it should be 1, okay, you have to choose the admittance of the B minus point in such a way that it contains some real part as 1 and is some imaginary value. So how to get this one? We have to get this one by choosing the stub length in such a way that it is going to produce minus JB dash. If it is going to produce minus JB dash, I can say that this is get cancelled. Therefore, 1 is equal to 1. So this is the idea behind the operation of this single step matching technique. Okay, the admittance at B plus is equal to normalized stub admittance plus admittance at B minus point. So from the analysis, when impedance matching occurs, if admittance at B plus is 1, then only we can say that this is 1 and this is 1. Therefore, I can say that impedance matching takes place. The load impedance is equal to Z0. Therefore, impedance matching occurs. So to get 1 here, what I have to do? You have to choose the admittance at B minus point in such a way that it should have a real value of 1. Okay, by properly choosing the length of the location of the stub, okay, we have to choose in such a way that it should contain real value of 1 with some imaginary value. Okay, this is the first point. Choose the location of stub in such a way that the real part of the input admittance is 1 and contains some imaginary value, that is 1 plus JB dash. Now we have to choose the length of the stub in such a way that it should nullify this imaginary value. Therefore, it is going to give a value of 1 at B plus point. So that's what I have written here. So I have to choose the length of the stub in such a way that it is having input impedance of minus JB dash, so that this input impedance is nullified by this plus JB dash to get 1 at the B plus point. Therefore, the load impedance is 1 and line impedance is 1, hence impedance matching occurs. Okay, so this is the principle behind the how to find out the location of stub and how to choose the length of the stub and what is the stub admittance. Now with the help of Smith chart, we have to find out all these values. Okay. Now we have to try to draw admittance chart. So first draw the stub circuit. Okay, this is having Y0 by Y0, that is equal to 1. This is YL bar, that is equal to G plus JB, and this is admittance at load side, this is B, this is B minus, this is B plus, and this is the length of the stub, and this is the location of the stub. Okay, and this is C. So at this we are expecting the admittance as 1 plus JB dash, and we are expecting the admittance at this as a minus JB dash, so that it is going to nullify this imaginary value. Therefore, the admittance at B plus is 1. Therefore, 1 is equal to 1 and impedance matching occurs. Now, try to draw a Smith chart here. Okay, so this is the normalized admittance chart. Okay, so here you have to choose the G as 1. So for that reason, I am drawing here one circle called as G is equal to one circle. So this is what? This is G is equal to one circle. Okay, so what is this point? This point is P SC point, and this point is P OC point in case of admittance chart. Okay, now we have to start the method. So what is the first point? First point is you have to plot the normalized admittance on the admittance chart. So it contains G value and B value. So what is admittance? Intersection of G circle and B circle is going to give the normalized load admittance. So let I am taking this as G circle, and taking this as B circle. Okay, now superimposition of G circle and B circle is going to give the normalized admittance. L bar is equal to G plus J B. This is named as point A. This is the first step you have to do. First step is plot the normalized load admittance on Smith chart and name it as point A. Okay, what is second step means? Moving on transition line is same as that of moving on constant VSWR circle, right? Therefore, already we see one more point in the previous class. If it is from load to source or from source to load. So based upon this, we have to move in some direction on this constant VSWR circle. If we are moving from load to source, we have to move it in a clockwise direction. If I am moving from source to load, we have to move in a anti-clockwise direction on the constant VSWR circle. So the next step is we have to draw the constant VSWR circle with OA as radius. With OA as radius, draw a constant VSWR circle. So this is the constant VSWR circle. Okay. Now on this transition, on this circle, we have to travel some distance. How much distance we have to travel means until we have to move on this transition line until we reach G is equal to one circle. This is the idea, because we want the admittance at B minus as 1 plus something. So for that reason, we have to move on this transition line from load to the source until it is going to touch the G is equal to one circle. Okay, now move on this constant VSWR circle in a clockwise direction, because we are moving from load to source Therefore, we should move in a clockwise direction on this constant VSWR circle. So move on this constant VSWR circle in clockwise direction until it reaches G is equal to 1 circle. So I can see one point here and another point here. You can choose any of the value, but the idea here is, the thing here is, always we should choose the location of the stub as less as possible. Okay, because if the length of the stub is, location of stub is more, so up to here we can see the reflected waves. You can see the standing waves. Therefore, the loss is more. If the length is small means loss is small. The length is more means the loss is more. That is the reason why always choose the location of the stub which is closer to the load. So if you observe here, this point is closer to the load when compared to this point. That's the reason why I am saying choose this point as the location of the stub. So this is nothing but your B minus point. At B minus, what is the admittance? Real value is 1, definitely, because it lies on G is equal to 1 circle. The real part is 1. What about admittance? Real imaginary part? Let's take some value. I don't know what is the value. So for that reason I am taking it as some JB dash. Okay. So the distance between this A to the B minus point is called as the location of the stub. The distance between A to the B. So generally how to measure this means, use a protractor and measure the angle between A to the B. Okay, we know how to convert degrees to lambdas. 1 lambda is equal to 720 degrees. Right? So for theta degrees, how many lambdas? For theta degrees, how many lambdas? How to get this one? For theta degrees, into 1 lambda by 720. Sorry. So for theta degrees, try to find out the distance in terms of lambdas. That is going to give the length between A to B minus. Okay. So now 1 point is over, 2 points are over. That is the location of stub is over. 1 point is over. Location of stub is finalized. The second one is we have to find out the length of the stub and the stub admittance. We know that the stub admittance is nothing but imaginary opposite of this susceptance. So for that, how to choose an opposite value. How to choose the opposite value means take mirror image of this point. So what is this one? This point is mirror image of B minus point, right? So at this point, what is admittance? The admittance at this point is 1 minus JB dash, obviously. So we have to choose the mirror image point of B plus, nothing but 1 minus JB dash. Okay, already we know that minus JB dash is the stub admittance. So you can see one circle that is passing through this point. So this is called minus JB dash. Right? What is admittance? Admittance means intersection of conductor circle and susceptor circle. So this is the G is one circle and this is the minus JB dash circle. So superimposition of these to give 1 minus JB dash. Therefore, this is nothing but your minus JB dash point. Okay. So here we see that. So this is a short circuit stub having input impedance of minus JB dash. So this is nothing but your normalized stub admittance. S bar is equal to minus JB dash. So how to find this length? So from here we have to move towards this short circuit point, right? This is a short circuit point. Therefore, from minus JB dash move towards short circuit point. So here we are moving from source to load. When we are moving from source to load, we have to move in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, whenever we are moving from source to load, we have to move in anti-clockwise direction towards the short circuit point. Therefore, here we can see so from this point we have to move in anti-clockwise direction towards the short circuit point. So why I am not drawing here another circle here? Already this is circle, right? Last one is the outermost circle. So move on this outermost circle. Move on this outermost circle in anti-clockwise direction to reach short circuit point. This is going to give the length of the stub. Again, how to measure? Same principle we have to apply. Measure the angle between these two lines. This is some theta stub. Convert this degrees into lambdas to get the length of the stub in terms of lambdas. So 3 points are covered already. Location of the stub is theta c. The angle between A and B point, B plus point, B minus point, and the angle between this point and theta c, OC and OPS is theta s, nothing but the length of the stub, and minus JB dash is the stub admittance. Minus JB dash is the stub admittance. That is the normalized value into Y0 is going to give absolute value. Okay, so this is the procedure to find out impedance matching with the help of single step matching technique using a short circuited stub that is connected in parallel to the main transmission line. Okay, and another point here is drawbacks. What the drawback in this method means, again, as the load impedance varies, the location of the stub varies. So in the previous case, it is here. For example, impedance is some other point. Again, the load impedance varies. Therefore, the location of stub varies. Therefore, whenever the load impedance varies, you have to keep on changing the location of the stub, which is a difficult task. Okay. Therefore, to overcome these drawbacks, we will go for a double stub matching technique. Okay. Now, we will see how to do impedance matching using double stub matching technique. So, in case of double stub matching technique, we use two stubs, okay, to obtain impedance matching. So, what the advantage of double stub matching technique is, the location of the stub is fixed, and the separation between two stubs is fixed. So, even though the load impedance varies, no need to change the location of the stubs. Just by simply varying the length of the stubs, you can do impedance matching. Okay. So next one is double stub matching technique. Okay, double stub matching technique. So in case of double stub matching technique, always the separation between two stubs is 3 lambda by 8. Always the separation between two stubs is 3 lambda by 8. And second one is location of stub is fixed. Okay, location of stub is fixed. So because of these two reasons, maximum problems are solved, because no need to change the location of stubs when our load impedance changes. Simply by varying the length of the stubs, we can do impedance matching. So now I will draw the circuit of a double stub matching technique. So this is the, again we have to go for a normalized admittance, because we are connecting them in parallel. This is YL bar, nothing but some G plus JB. So here load impedance is not equal to line impedance. Impedance matching takes place. So definitely with the help of some steps, we have to obtain impedance matching. So here I am taking two steps here. This is the first step and this is the second step. Okay. So how many parameters you have to measure here? This is nothing but the location of the step. It is fixed. But after some distance you can put it, no problem. It is something. So this is nothing but length of the step 1 and this is the length of the steps 2 and this is normalized step admittance 1 and this is the normalized step admittance 2. So 5 parameters: location of step, length of step 1, length of step 2, normalized step admittance 1 and normalized step admittance 2. So this is the admittance center, A point. So this is B, this is a B minus, this is B plus, this is C, C minus and C plus. Okay, so just before the step and after the step. Just before step 1 and just after the step 1. We have to find out the admittances. So this is 1, right? So when we can say that impedance matching takes place, if the admittance at C plus is 1. Therefore after the double step, we have to see that the admittance must be equal to the characteristic admittance. This is 1, this should be 1. Therefore then we can say that the impedance matching takes place. And one more point here is what? Always the separation between two steps is 3 lambda by 8. Nothing but how much? 1 lambda means 720. So it gives 270 degrees. It gives 270 degrees. Okay. Now first of all, you have to analyze some of in analytical method. What are the values we may get? Okay. So definitely from the previous analysis, if this is 1 means at this point, what must be the admittance? It must be some 1 plus GB dash, because always step is going to produce imaginary value. You have to choose the length of the step in such a way that this admittance should nullify this admittance value. Then only you can say that it is going to give 1 at a C plus point. So this is clear from already previous topic. The help of single step matching technique. Now, so to get 1 plus JB dash here, what have to do? Okay, so after moving, what's the point we have noted previous case? We have to move on this function line from load to source of some length L suffix C. We know that as we move on the function line, its admittance varies. So after some location L suffix C, let I'm assuming the admittance at this is some G1 plus JB1. I am assuming after moving distance of L suffix C on the function line, the admittance at B minus is some G1 plus JB1. Okay, so here what is the circle? This is G is equal to 1 circle. Okay. So first try to draw the points here. So why I am drawing this means we'll understand a little bit later. So first step is plot the normalized load admittance on Smith chart and name it as A. Okay, that is the first point. Plot the normalized load admittance on Smith chart and name it as point A. Okay, with the OA as radius, draw a constant VSWR circle. So this is the constant VSWR circle. Okay, now from this point A, move some distance. Let's take some distance. So I am taking some distance here. So from point A, I am moving some distance of to get B minus point. So this is nothing but your location of the stub. Okay, that distance is anything you can take, no problem. For time being, I am taking at this point as B minus points. Okay. Okay, now from B minus, if we travel distance of 3 lambda by 8, according to our analysis, I should reach G is equal to 1 circle. Okay, I have to get G is equal to 1 circle. Then only I can get impedance matching after C. Now we'll see, from B minus point, if I move a distance of 3 lambda by 8, how much 3 lambda means? 270 degrees. So this is 0, this is 90, this is 180, and this is 270. It is not touching G is equal to 1 circle. It is not touching G is equal to 1 circle. But according to the diagram, our object is after travel distance of 3 lambda by 8, it has to reach G is equal to 1 circle. But it is not happening here. So what I have to do means, we have to transform this B minus to B plus. We should transform this B minus point to B plus in such a way that from B plus point, if we travel a distance of 3 lambda by 8, it has to touch G is equal to 1 circle. Okay, that is our objective. So from this analysis, I can say that from B minus point, if I am traveling distance of 3 lambda by 8, that means 270 degrees, it is not reaching G is equal to 1 circle. It is staying here. This is 0, 1 circle, and it is staying here. So what I have to do? I have to do some transformation. We have to transform this B minus point to B plus in such a way that from B plus, if you travel distance of 3 lambda by 8, that means 270 degrees, it has to reach G is equal to 1 circle. Okay, then only impedance matching can take place. So now we will see how to transform it. So here we have to use the concept of finding the admittance in parallel. So first I am drawing once again the diagram of double step matching technique. So that I can draw a switch chart here clearly. This is YL bar, it is equal to G plus JB, and this is Y0 by Y0, it is equal to 1. Now we have to place a stub here at some location, and again another stub. Always the separation between two stubs is 3 lambda by 8. And this is A point, this is B, B minus, B plus, C, C minus, and C plus. This is 1. So definitely at C plus point it should be 1. So this is the nothing but location of the stub in suffix C. So I am assuming after this location, the admittance at B minus is some G1 plus JB. Okay, at C minus should have admittance of 1 plus JB dash, because the stub is going to produce an admittance of minus JB dash to nullify this imaginary value. So with the help of this length of stub 1, it is going to produce minus JB dash to nullify this. Okay, so this is the what I have discussed earlier. Now we'll try to implement how to find the B plus value with the help of the Smith chart. Okay, this is a normalized admittance chart, and this is the This is G is equal to one circle. Okay, this is a short circuit point. This is the open circuit point. These are the points you have to draw for a normalized admittance chart. What is the first step? The first step is plot the normalized load admittance on Smith chart and name it as point A. I am assuming this is G plus JB. Okay, that is intersection of G and B circles and name it as point A. What is the next one? With OA as radius, how to draw the circle. What is that circle? Nothing but a constant VSWR circle. So this is the first constant VSWR circle. Okay. The next step is from A, you have to travel some distance of L suffix C to reach B minus point. So from this point, I am traveling distance of some L suffix C to reach B minus point. At this point, let us assume it is having an admittance of G plus sub G1 plus JB1, and this is going to give the length of the location of the stub. It is some imaginary. I am assuming after the L suffix C, I am getting an admittance of some G1 plus JB1. It is my assumption. Okay. Now what I have to do? I have to choose the admittance at B plus in such a way that from B plus, if you draw a distance of 3 lambda by 8, it has to touch G is equal to 1 circle. Okay. So for that, we have to follow some procedure. What does that procedure means? So first we have to draw. What is this one? This is called G1 circle. What is G1 plus JB? Nothing but superimposition of or intersection of G1 circle and B1 circle. So this is nothing but your G1 circle. Now we have to move. Now move on this G1 circle until it reaches a 270 degrees rotated. What is this? This is 270 degrees rotated G is equal to 1 circle. So this is the procedure for transforming this B minus to B plus. Okay, we have to follow these steps. What is the first step? Draw the G1 circle. Second step is draw 270 degrees rotated G is equal to 1 circle. That is the second step. Third step is move on this G1 circle until it reaches 270 degrees rotated G is equal to 1 circle. What is third step? Move on this G1 circle until it reaches 270 degrees rotated G is equal to 1 circle. It may be here or here, anything is okay. Okay, I am taking here, no problem, anything is okay. So this is the point. This is the B plus point. At B plus, what is the value of admittance? Since it lies on G1 circle, the real value is G1 only. And some JB double dash is the admittance. Or it is minus, right? Take minus, no problem. This is G1 minus JB double dash is the admittance. Let us assume it is having real value is confirmed. That is because it is lies on G1 circle, it is having real value of G1. Let us assume some imaginary value as minus JB double dash. Okay. So this is the B plus. Now from B plus, which is having admittance of G1 minus JB double dash, we have to move a distance of 3 lambda by 8 to reach C minus point. Because this point is outside this constant VSWR circle, because see this point is not on this constant. This is what? This is the VSWR circle. It is not on the constant VSWR circle. So what have to do? We have to draw another circle, because moving on line is same as that of moving on constant VSWR circle. So for that reason, with the OB plus as radius, with the OB plus as radius, draw second VSWR circle. Okay, with the OB plus as radius, draw a second constant VSWR circle. Since this B plus point is outside this VSWR circle, we have to draw another VSWR circle, because always moving on the transmission line is same as that of moving on the constant VSWR circle. For that reason, with the OB plus a radius, draw another circle. Okay, now what you have to do? Now move on this. Now move on this constant VSWR circle. Okay, until it reaches G is equal to 1 second. Okay, so is from here we have to move in clockwise direction. Okay, definitely it is going to touch here, because it lies on this 270 degrees rotated G is equal to 1 circle. Definitely, if you travel distance of 3 lambda by 8, it is going to touch the original G is equal to 1 circle. So this point is nothing but your C minus point. At C minus, what is the admittance? Real value is 1. Definitely, and imaginary is, let us assume some JB dash. Okay, so at C minus, what's the value we got? 1 plus JB dash. Now how to find the length of the step 1? So for this, take mirror image. This is 1 minus JB dash, and observe the B circle. So this is nothing but minus JB dash. This is what we done earlier. Okay, the distance between minus JB dash to the short circuit point is going to give the length of the step 1. The distance between minus JB dash to the short circuit point gives length of the step 1, and minus JB dash is the step admittance. So this part is over. Length of step 1 is over and step admittance is over. So what you have to find next one is, you have to find out the length of step 2 and normalized step admittance 2. So how to find this? To find this, you have to use some mathematical equations. So how to find step admittance? Here we can see that admittance at B plus is equal to what? Admittance of the step plus admittance at B minus, right? The admittance at B plus is equal to what? Sum of admittance of the second step plus admittance at B minus. What's the value of B plus value? It is G1 minus JB double dash is equal to, unknown is YS2 bar plus B minus is G1 plus JB1. From this, find out the value of YS2 bar. So YS2 bar is equal to G1 will get cancelled. This becomes minus of, we can take common, minus J B1 plus B double dash. Okay, this is normalized step admittance 2. Minus J of B1 plus B double dash. How to find the length of the step means, plot the value of minus JB dash on the Smith chart. It may be any place. So this is minus J into B B1 plus B double dash. So from this point to the short circuit point is going to give the length of the step 2. So you have to follow this procedure to find out the step admittances and length of the steps and location of the step for a double step matching technique. In the next class we will discuss the problems how to solve the problem using switch chart. Thank you.